Today's video we start with a hydration chart. Am I hydrated? Aim for clear urine at least 10 times a day. Eat a diet rich in fresh fruits and vegetables. Drink a quart of water before meals. Thank you.
Just out cruising along, on a commute, going home, seen this on the road. Seen these little bad boys. I always pick these up because these end up in the gutter here. Stormwater gutter, just go brushed out into the ocean and take a while to biodegrade, and then get the seals and the penguins, and it gets all fucked up and messy. So if you see these out on your training route, pick them up. They don't weigh nothing. I put this in my pocket and cut it up and chuck it in the bin where it belongs. Because if you leave the rednecks to their own devices, they'll definitely fuck up the planet. So you gotta do your bit. You're part of the solution versus part of the problem. Easy, easy, easy. Carb the fuck up so you have enough energy to give a fuck about yourself, the animals, the planet, and society and other people. Because that's what people do, is they don't get enough carbs, and then we don't have enough carbs, enough glycogen, you don't give a fuck about nothing but getting the next meal, because you're just like, you're in survival mode. You're in survival mode. So carb the fuck up to make the world a better place. People are like, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. Carb the fuck up and save the fucking planet. You'll never have a fucking weight issue then, will you?
That's right. We've got tips and recipes.
To get obese and buy lots of superfood bullshit.
Buy my supplements.
And buy my snake oil. We've become millionaires. Living in a gated community in Ecuador, because we don't want to hang out with real people. Bananas are toxic. They make you obese. Oh my god, my wife is overweight. Don't go on camera. It might ruin the sales. That's a bit cheeky. Carb the fuck up, so don't get scammed by the snake oil sellers. So I've got a question here. Instead of weighing your food, why not do a nutritional profile at the end of each day, showing how much a few vital nutrients you have gotten? Your diet is very low in leafy greens and vegetables and whole unprocessed grains in general. Your calcium intake might be low, which can contribute to that computer hunch or osteoporosis. This is where people get this into this like analysis of paralysis, paralysis of analysis, paralysis via analysis mindset, where they just like people send me a picture of chronometer or some graph of like, Harley, I missed out on 74 milligrams of calcium today. I think my bones are going to snap tomorrow morning. The only way on earth you can guarantee sufficient nutrients is that you eat your meals, right? But you buy 2 of everything. You have 2 meals, alright? So you eat 1 meal, the other meal you send to a lab, they break it down, they send you a profile. You have to do that every single meal for the rest of your life, and only then will you guarantee you're getting enough. But then you have to check your absorption. You have to cross-check it with your output. You have to cross-check it with your state of mind, etc. So you can't. Does that make sense? But people go, oh, but look at this, look at that. And there's so many other factors that science yet to discover when it comes to nutrition. So the whole counting every single microgram or milligram of calcium or whatever, it's fucking pointless. It's really pointless. What you can count though is added milligrams of sodium. That's pretty easy to do, things like that. Sugar's reliable. Fat intake is reliable. Protein grams reliable. But then you have the amino acid destruction by heat. So you got so many factors out there. What can you do? Just fucking eat. Eat as much as you fucking want. And eat a wide variety of plant foods. Ideally, raw, fresh plant foods. Organic. That's what you can do. Get your early nights. Get fit. The fitter you are, the better your digestion. 100%. So many people spend so much time learning about nutrition, which is great, but they don't do any sport. They don't get out in the sunshine and the fresh air. So you got to really look at your whole lifestyle. As for computer hunch caused by lack of calcium, my mum's got osteoporosis. She's had dairy every day of her life. My mum has over 1,000 milligrams of dairy for almost all of her life. She's got osteoporosis. 726,000 Australians last year were diagnosed with osteoporosis. 100% of Australian dairy is grass-fed. We don't have any cattle lot feed here. This is every animal in Australia is grass-fed. Almost all of its life, if not 100% of its life. That's just how it is. That's why Australia is so fucked up. We've cut down all the forests pretty much for grazing, for grass-fed industry, and that's why we're so obese and have an osteoporosis epidemic, because the animal protein fucking fucks up your bones, and the high calcium intake gives you kidney stones. So look it up. Educate yourself. Get educated or get medicated. Next question. Why don't you grow all your own fruit and vegetables? I've talked about this many times. I'll answer again. $2 million minimum for 2 people in Australia, and then it has to be a full-time job as a farmer to make sure all the trees are good, the water's good, everything's good. Otherwise, you're fucked. So $2 million, full-time job. If I was a farmer, I wouldn't be helping you on the internet at all. So, not going to happen in Australia. Why do the bananas in Australia taste like cardboard? I mean, occasionally you get some good bananas. These aren't too bad, these organic ones. But in general, bananas in Australia taste like cardboard. Yellow cardboard. Why? Because we don't have any competition in Australia for fruit quality. So whatever's on the market, that's all you got. In the US, you got Mexican, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, etc. bananas. So you got a lot of competition there. So they have to produce better quality. Otherwise, someone else is going to... Check out this little greyhound here. Let's just angle this camera up. See that little guy? At the dog park. That's why the bananas just don't have any competition in Australia. But when you got competition in the US, you have to produce good quality shit. Otherwise, people just forget about you. So that's why people go, oh, the bananas in Australia are fantastic. I love my fruit. But then you tell them to eat just fruit, they're like, oh, fuck that. Fruit tastes like shit. But just if Indigo, you say, I love my fruit. Fruit's great. But when you say eat a meal of fruit, they're like, why the fuck would I want to do that? I would rather eat a chocolate bar. That's sweeter. So, cherries are just coming in season. Here's a picture. Local cherries, $25 a kilo. This is wholesale price. This is from the farm direct. This cherry farm is literally 4 kilometers from my house, from my front door. 4 kilometers away. Local organic cherries, $25 a kilo. Here's the thing: they taste like shit. I wouldn't even eat them if they got them for free. I'd chuck them in the garden. Making a smoothie now. Now I like to use around a cup sometimes of sugar if the bananas. These are organic bananas. They're ripe. Not very sweet though. Not very sweet. So very low in calories. I want to boost the calories by adding in some sugar. In nature, this would be sweet as. Figsy, what are you doing? It'd be sweet as. But because they're picked very green, like most fruits picked green, you don't get the full sugar set. It's just how it is. So we're adding in what should be there. So if you just eat that, that's good, but you're getting fuck all sugar, really, aren't you? Fuck all sugar. That's why I laugh so heartily at all the idiots out there saying, fruit's really high in sugar these days, it's been going too much sugar. Fuck off. Try and do a fruitarian diet for a while, and you'll soon realise that, oh my god, this fruit's pretty fucking bland. Have quality fruit, and then you work out the commercial stuff. just doesn't really cut it, unfortunately. Especially in Australia. This is the highest quality organic you can get. Tastes like fucking cardboard. Cup of sugar. In the thing. Now sugar, this is coconut sugar, it's about $5 a cup. That's about $5 worth of sugar there. You can get your standard Australian organic sugar. That's about 55 cents for a cup. So we've got 55 cents, $5, or you can use organic dates at about $10 for the same amount of sugar added. The date, I love the dates. So I can afford either $10, $5, or 55 cents, but I want to give people options because I understand that some people might have families and they've got not as much money as I have or whatever. So we give people options. You know, I don't live in a gated community and drive a fucking Porsche. I'm a real world person. I give real world options. Not that driving a Porsche makes you a bad person, but you know what I mean? I understand that I'm a people person. I travel around. I've been homeless before. I can fucking relate to all levels of people. And for these fruit-wise things, bit of texture, I like to stimulate my appetite as much as possible so I eat more. The more you eat, the more you can live. I should say, the more you eat of high-quality things, carbohydrates, the more you can live. Because you got more energy to do shit. Here's Big Bananas. Here's a Lance Armstrong book. How Lance does it. Lots and lots and lots of fucking drugs. Every single sporting champion on the planet juiced to the fucking gills. Lance is no exception. It's still a valid book though, because Lance had a lot of it up here. Drugs give you that physical edge, but you still got a bit of a mental thing going on there. So always lessons to learn there from our dopers, but 100% every single world-class famous athlete on that planet juiced to the fucking gills. But imagine if that became like mainstream knowledge. Can you imagine? What would people do? What would people do with their time on the weekends? Spend it with their kids? Watch the Super Bowl. Watch all the people on hot sauce. Live the fairy tale. Perpetuate the fairy tale. Little dog there. She's shy. Doesn't like eating on camera. Let's see if we can get her again. It's like an animal documentary. Look at that. The wild Cambodian greyhound smells the food and seeks it out. Some caloric nourishment for the little skinny dog. This time of year it wears a purple coat. Part of the breeding season. It gets a big chunk and retreats to its natural settings. Notice how dogs don't chew, they just gulp. Just gulping down that vegan pet food. Look at it. We're watching you, Figsy. They don't chew, do they? They gulp. So next time you're eating your steak, just gulp it down like a real omnivore does. Crazy. Questions. Heading to Port Douglas soon for about 2 weeks and can't find any vegan spots to eat there, or even as much as an organic store. A friend told me that fruit grows trees and everywhere there, but most likely to get into trouble for harvesting them, and whatever fruit is actually sold there you pay crazy prices for. Love my fruits and veggies, so this came as a rough news for me. Would love it if you could offer me any tips living up there. Well, Port Douglas is a beautiful location. It's in far north Queensland, above Cairns. Very, very, very scenic location. I'm not sure if this person's from Australia or from the US. If they're from Australia, they'll understand how expensive things are here. If they're from the US and they're going to Port Douglas, they're going to get a fucking rude shock. For one, it's a perfect climate for growing world-class tropical fruit. Secondly, it's really fucking hard to get tropical fruit up there. Thirdly, if you can get it, they're going to fucking bend you over and take it from you. Fourth, not much fruit grows up there. I mean, someone who doesn't eat fruit or eats like a banana once every few days might go, oh, it's everywhere. But a fruitarian, there's no fruitarians living in Port Douglas because there's not much of a fruit scene going on there. There's fuck all. There's a thing called port produce, which is they sell to the restaurants, but you'll be getting bent over when you go to port produce. And even then, the quality is pretty... Fruit quality in Australia is very low. It's probably the lowest quality. It would be the lowest quality of any nation in the world, Australia, for fruit. We can grow some exceptional things. There's some exceptional organic farmers here, but there's like a handful of them. And so they can't produce that much food because there's only like 3 or 4 or 5 of them that are really growing A-grade fucking produce. The rest are just putting out shit and people are buying it because that's all you got. That's all you got in Australia. You don't have an option, really. People say, grow your own, grow your own. That's great. If you live in fairy tale world, $2 million minimum for an organic farm here in Australia to get us going, good land, rock dust the soil. That's for about 2 people, 2 fruitarians, $2 million. And it's going to take you at least 10 years of full-time work to really get that going in terms of having the money, then quitting your day job, and then you work on that farm and you make it happen. So $2 million plus 10 years. Welcome to Australia. Port Douglas, there's always vegan food at Port Douglas. You got Coles there. You can always get vegan food at most restaurants. But the thing is, going to restaurants is a bit of a letdown because most of the time their food is too greasy, too salty. But you know, a good restaurant can steam up some rice for you. You could bring your own sauce and put it on the plate. Depends. There's always ways around it. A good website is happycow.net. If I was going to a restaurant in Port Douglas, I wouldn't actually go to a restaurant in Port Douglas because there's every single restaurant in Port Douglas that I can think of is crap. It's their shit. They don't even use organic produce, most of them. So why would I want to pay that much money to go to some shitty restaurant that doesn't know how to make real food? I wouldn't go to a restaurant in Port Douglas. People are like, you don't understand, this is high class fine dining. Fuck off. Dog food isn't fine dining. Restaurants that serve dog food, that's not my definition of fine dining. Call it what you want, but it's not fine dining. People serve dog food, it's not fine dining. This is not dog food, it's fucking meat. It's dog food. It's what dogs eat. My dog eats better than that. My dog eats fucking vegan foods. And occasionally the dog catches a mouse. But Port Douglas, go there. Definitely check it out. Check it out. Do a YouTube blog about it. Do a YouTube vlog. Say, this is my experience in Port Douglas. Do an experience about it. So then other people Googling up can check it out. Everyone should be doing fucking YouTube videos about locations or situations or whatever, sharing their personal experience. And keyword it in the good name. Port Douglas Fruitarian, or eating vegan in Port Douglas, or travel Port Douglas, whatever. Eating healthy and lean in Port Douglas, Australia, whatever. So when people Google it up, your video comes up, number one ranking. Getting full here, getting full. Another question. Please debunk this moron. And the person sent me to a YouTube video called Eat Less, Live Longer. I'm not even going to watch the video because I know it's just some calorie restriction bullshit. Basically, to debunk calorie restriction, where are the long-term anorexics that live long life? Anorexia has been around a long time, but they all seem to die pretty early. The ones who can maintain it. Calorie restriction doesn't extend life. Every single calorie restriction study has never been done on fucking humans. So I'm sorry, but doing studies on rats and worms and then translating that evidence to humans is a bit bullshit in my book. So when there's some human studies out there showing otherwise, then maybe we'll pay attention to it. But otherwise, it's just people telling bad people good things about their bad habits. Alright, this is going to blend this bad boy up. I'm going to drink it down. Calorie restriction, eh? Calorie restriction, sit and spin.
Vegetarian vegan for 40 years. Made me stop, gave me pause. Went, got my cholesterol checked, and wanted to head over to the medical library to see if there's anything new in the medical literature that could help me explain.
To have naps, but if you need a nap, take a nap. That's one of the bad things about doing caffeine, is helping people feel tired. Have some caffeine, and then caffeine works by spiking your adrenaline. So if you feel tired, have a nap. If you can't have a nap, try and have a nap. You know, I used to have naps at work, and I'm working now. I'm gonna have a nap because when you have a nap and recharge, you can be more fresh. So everyone has a lunch break. So go outside. Put a little mask on. Got this in the Fruit Festival. This is called a what's it called, Mindfold. It's a little mask. So you take one to work, just find a quiet spot, just lay down. And you don't have to sleep, just rest your eyes, just chill. And you'll be much more productive when you go back to work. So skip the caffeine, get a rest, revive, get back into it. That's what we do. So definitely. I've been having a few late nights the last couple of nights, but that's probably why I need a nap. But otherwise, I rarely take naps. But if you need a nap, take a nap. Listen to your body's fatigue. Don't use stimulants to cover it. When you use stimulants to cover fatigue, you dig a hole. You dig a big fucking hole. Using stimulants to get out of fatigue is like using credit card to get out of credit card debt. It doesn't work. You've got to get your sleep. Got to get your rest. Got to get your rest. Alright, I'm going to have a quick 10-minute, 15-minute power nap, and I'll be back on action. Back at my mate's organic shop, organically grown, 85 St Bernard's Road, McGill, South Australia, Radelaide if you're in town, best place to go for your fruit. Here we have a tray of mangoes here. We've got 11 mangoes, there's about 200 calories each. Organic, certified organic. Retail around $132 for a tray. You got about 2,400 calories here. So if you're eating 2,400 calories, if you're doing mango islands organically in South Australia, you're looking at about $1,000 a week. If you're just sitting at home, if you're athletic, probably $2,000 a week will give you about 4,800 calories. So that's probably pretty viable for a lot of people. But seriously, that's why we give people a fucking backup plan. I can afford to eat a $70 meal of mangoes or a $100 meal of mangoes. Most people can't. That's why we give people a backup plan. Does that make sense? I love fucking eating mangoes, alright? But I don't like that conventional shit because that's full of poison and they taste like shit most of the time. These mangoes taste incredible. Incredible. Just let them ripen up. But there you go. That's the Australian mangoes. Beautiful. Don't eat conventional Australian mangoes because they're full of fucking poison. Get the organic ones. Rob a fucking bank if you have to. Then we had about 500 calories. A mulberry feast is freely under the tree, stealing my food.